You're tuned in to The Andrew Lawton Show.
The firearms regimes are federal. The regulations, the laws are federal. But provinces can appoint their own CFO. And this was something I actually brought up with Teri Bryant when I ran into Teri at the UCP AGM in Calgary. How much authority do provinces really have? This was our conversation in Calgary on the weekend.
Is the landscape for firearms issues in Alberta so different compared to several other provinces in Canada right now?
Well, I think there's two answers to that, I think. One is it's not as different as you might think, because if you go outside a few of the major metropolitan areas, you'll find that the vast majority of the geographical area of Canada thinks that not that much differently than Alberta. But we do have some specific circumstances in Alberta. For example, we've long had a major role played by agriculture and ranching, which instilled a sort of sense of individual responsibility and looking after oneself, and I think firearms have been a part of that because they were so actively used by ranchers and farmers.
Obviously, provinces have the ability, as in your case, to appoint their own CFO, but so many of the laws and regulations are federal. So how much autonomy do provinces really have, and where are those issues where they can kind of be a bit more independent on firearms issues and respect gun owners a bit more?
Well, I think there's a couple of aspects to that again. One, it makes a big difference, the attitude of the people you have in the office. And I can't tell you how many people, I attend gun shows virtually every weekend or other firearms events, and I can't tell you how many people come up to praise my staff for the great work that they're doing, because they just have an approach of how can we help you to solve whatever issue you have, instead of how can we make your life difficult. And so that's, I think, one important aspect. The other important aspect is it is true that this is an area where there is primarily federal jurisdiction, but that just makes it all the more important for us to seek out every nook and cranny where there is some opportunity to exercise provincial discretion. And as part of that process, that also means that we are learning exactly how the whole program works, so that if we do get a change of government in Ottawa, we'll be able to assist in transitioning to a more firearms owner-friendly regime, which will, I think, pay huge dividends in terms of public safety even for non-firearms owners, because there is just so much of what the federal government does that is not focused on public safety. It is focused on bureaucratic procedures, making life difficult for ordinary firearms owners instead of going after criminals. And if we were able to refocus a bit on the problem areas and give the law-abiding people a little bit more leeway, then I think we would get a lot more support for the program all across Canada. And as everyone in law enforcement will tell you, it was mentioned, I think, by both the ministers today, public safety requires public support for all of the aspects of administration and enforcement of the law. And so if we're able to build better relationships with the public, that will pay great dividends in terms of public safety.
Thanks for listening to The Andrew Lawton Show. Support the program by donating to True North at www.tnc.news.